Welcome to Cats and Coffee with Dr. Goodman. Hi, everybody. I'm here to talk to you right now about our first kitten visit and what you can expect when you bring your first kiddo into us. And make sure you know it's kiddo, Kitt-O, because I like to joke around and laugh. So, on your first visit, depends how old they are when you bring them in, but any cat that or kitten that's just adopted, whether it's 6 weeks old or 12 weeks old or however old, we always first do a leukemia FIV test. And those we do to ensure that your kiddo is negative for the viruses. We follow the AHA AAFP recommendations for testing. And what that means is that we test at the time that your kiddo comes in for the first time, and then we retest them at 60 days later to make sure that they remain negative because they're both viruses that can lay dormant or latent or hide in the body and not show on a test right away. The other thing you can expect from your first visit is we're going to play with your kiddo. We absolutely love it when we see our little fur babies come in. And sometimes we'll do a kitten in your pocket, and make sure you say pocket. And we'll also play with them and get them used to us and let them roam around the room. We're going to offer them a treat like churu, and that allows them to get really comfortable with coming to the vet. The other thing, too, that we'll talk to you about are the vaccine schedule. Again, we follow the AHA AAFP vaccination schedule, and that typically means that we vaccinate every 3 to 4 weeks until they're over the age of 16 weeks. And their last visit will be when they receive their rabies vaccine. The vaccines that we vaccinate for is the core vaccine called the FERCP, which is your upper respiratory viruses. And most people think of it as the upper respiratory virus vaccine. The other thing that we will talk to you about is vaccinating your kiddo for feline leukemia. It's recommended per the AHA and AAFP recommendations to vaccinate in the first not week of life, the first year of life when they're kittens, to vaccinate all kittens for feline leukemia. This is technically not a core vaccine. However, through the years, they have found that even with the best intentions, people will want their cat to not spend any time outside, but those cats can be very sneaky and slip right outside a door when you're trying to load your groceries into the house or open up the door for somebody. And we want to make sure they're fully protected. We recommend vaccinating at 1 year of life to make sure that we have a long lasting immunity. And then after that, it becomes a recommendation based off of whether or not your kiddo spends any time outside or not. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to run a fecal sample, and that is going to look for intestinal parasites. Now, a lot of people will say, "Well, I don't see any worms in the stool and when they're in the litter box," but these are their eggs. Fecals will show us the microscopic eggs that the worms are shedding in the intestinal tract, and we have to deworm them multiple times throughout their kitten series, and the reason being is those parasites migrate through the body. Roundworms and hookworms will migrate in the bloodstream through the body, and we can only deworm for the part actually in the intestinal tract. So we get a lot of questions of, well, the fecal didn't show any parasites. Well, remember, that's one piece of poop in time. And the other thing to know, too, is that each parasite will release its eggs or shed its eggs at a different time. And so, since that's just one piece of poop in time, as a result, we have to deworm for the part that we can deworm for, which is the part in the intestines, and only not all fecal samples will show the parasite egg. And so they need to have 3 dewormings 3 weeks apart from each other. Or, I mean, 2 weeks apart from each other. I'm so sorry. And this is why I need coffee. So, 3 dewormings 2 weeks apart from each other. The deworming also deworms for tapeworms, which are considered the lurking parasite. And what that means is it's very hard to find tapeworms on a cat, just like it's really hard to find fleas on a cat because they like to groom themselves. And I know this is gross, but cats will groom the fleas off of them and swallow them. And that's how they get the tapeworm, from the flea hosting the tapeworm inside itself. And then once the flea's digested in the stomach, then it disgustingly releases the tapeworm, and then sometimes you can see the tapeworms pass out the back end, and they look like little dried pieces or bits of rice if you're lucky enough to find any. But that's why it's called the lurking parasites, because many cats will groom those tapeworm proglottas, is what they're called, little segments, right off of their butt. which is one of the lovely things about our pets that we tend to not want to think about. So we see your kitten through 16 weeks of age, and each visit we'll talk about different things. We're going to talk about enrichment in your first visit as well, along with all of the medical things that I just discussed with you. But we really want to have them have a very enriched environment, and that means toys and climbing trees and all kinds of different things that will interact with your kiddo in order to mimic their normal natural behavior of hunting in the wild. The final thing that we're going to talk to you about at the visit is the heartworm flea tick prevention for your kiddo. It's extremely important to protect your kiddos, even the indoor only ones, because we can bring fleas and ticks in on our socks or our pants, and mosquitoes come into our homes. Is keeping them protected from fleas and ticks and heartworms. So we'll discuss that, and we'll give you a free dose at your first kitten visit. But those are just a few things that we're going to talk to you about, along with you're going to see us playing with those kiddos because we love seeing those babies. Can't wait to see you at the office. If you have any questions, give us a call at 513 563 0410. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.